Hello, everyone. This is Gruesome Herzog. My very special guest today is director Thomas Newman. He's the master behind Bong of the Dead in 2011. What's up, Thomas?
Not much. How you doing, man?
Great. I want to thank you for sending me a copy to view for my podcast. And I want to tell you something. I'm a diehard zombie fan, okay? But you made a major twist on zombies. Very creative.
Literally made a twist.
Very creative, I must say.
Cool.
I think I said in my review, I called it Cheech and Chong versus zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, for sure.
But, obviously it's going to be released. I'll let you mention that. But give the listeners an idea of what Bong of the Dead is about, and then if you want to, you can mention, where it's getting released at, and then for future dates.
Sure, yeah. Well, Bong of the Dead is a buddy film. It's basically about a couple of stoner buddies who happen to survive a zombie outbreak. And since the world has kind of ended, they have nothing better to do with their time except smoke a lot of weed, drink a lot of booze, and kind of just party their way day by day. The cool thing is one of them happens to have his own little grow show in his apartment where he experiments growing all sorts of kind of wacky weeds. And one day he discovers by using zombie brains as fertilizer, he can grow some super potent weeds super fast. The problem is, since the government's kind of cleared out all the zombies and put them into this place called the danger zone, they have to go on a road trip to find more zombies in order to harvest their brains in order to grow more weed. So it's that's where the twist reversal is. It's not zombies coming after your brains. It's these two stoners kind of going after zombie brains. It's a road adventure. There's action. There's drama. So all the cool elements that I kind of wanted to incorporate in the film to make it well-rounded. So in a nutshell, that's what it's about.
And one character in particular that I told you on the phone that I find really cool is, I'm talking about.
Alex, yeah.
I thought,
for sure.
I thought that was so cool. I love the, that's another twist, too, because he wanted to, I don't want to say too much either, I should shut up. But
that's all good. Well, that was another twist where I wanted to have a zombie where that could talk. Instead of just being a complete kind of mumbling idiot, I decided why not have this war going where a zombie decides enough is enough of them getting killed. It's time to organize. And this one zombie named Alex happens to have that ability to speak and to organize. Problem is, he still is an idiot because he's a zombie. But he tries. He tries to organize an uprising against the humankind, basically, and there's this battle, basically, zombies versus humans. So,
well, the two buddies are played by Jai Harris and Mark Wynn. That's Tommy
Correct.
And Edwin. Now, they had quite a chemistry in this film. I thought it was pretty cool. And then the beautiful Leah comes in.
Leah, Simone Bailey.
Exactly, and I thought that she was also did an excellent job in this film. And the three of them, I thought it was well made, well acted. It's just a fun film, and I know a lot of zombie fans out there that's going to really bite into this once it comes available. But again, thank you for the copy, and I absolutely loved it.
Oh, that's awesome to hear, man. That's really good.
And now, do you want to explain to listeners about how this got started? I know you released a YouTube video,
sure.
but go ahead and tell the listeners.
Well, like I've said a million times to other people too, we all have buddies that we sit around and we kind of dream stuff up. We want to do this. I want to do that. One day I want to make this. And I just got tired of doing that. I got sick and tired of just sitting around with buddies, discussing, and just not taking any action. So I decided, I'm going to take action. I'm going to write a script, and I'm just going to start recruiting. So basically I had 7 pages written when I decided I'm making this film. And I took my last $5,000 that I had in my pocket, and I just said, this is the budget for the film. I'm going to stick to it, and I'm just going to recruit the best people that I can get my hands on for free. So I basically put out ads. Word of mouth got around. But the way I really reeled people in was I shot a small sequence of 3 zombies coming through a tunnel, and I shot that in one day. And I brought on my really good friend Mike Fields, who's like a top makeup effects guy all over the world. I'm lucky to be friends with him. And he said, if I jump on board as a producer, I'll throw in all the makeup for you. So we set out in one day, shot 3 zombies coming out of a tunnel sequence which I knew I was going to use later on in the film, so I don't believe in wasting anything, you know.
Right.
So this sequence that we shot, I used that to kind of shock people, you know. So when I asked somebody if they wanted to be part of my film, I'd send them to the YouTube link, and the second they'd see like the first 5 seconds, the jaw would drop, and it'd be like, how much did it cost? And I don't have to tell them, you know, I did it for free. This cost me nothing. So imagine what I could do with $5,000 was my pitch.
Right.
And immediately I started getting people that just dying to be a part of it, and it kind of snowballed from there, and I got to pick and choose who I wanted to bring on board. And before you knew it, I was in production, and we shot for 15 days solid. My crew was pulling 12 to 16-hour days. I was going 20, 21, 22, sometimes just all the way around the clock. Actually, our first shooting date of the guys in their apartment, it was the boys' apartment sequence, we shot for 27 hours straight.
Wow.
And I had no choice. It's like, I have this location. I only have it for 2 days. I can't afford to come back, you know. So it's like, we're going 27 hours, and everybody pulled through, you know. So it's like, it was quite the adventure. So, I mean, we did it at the end of the day. It made it, you know, a film.
Yeah, and there's quite a few scenes in this film, which, like I said before, we can't really speak too much about. But towards the end of the film, the part with the homemade vehicle, the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I thought was pretty cool. And then, of course, you had the one character that's a pussy, per se, when it comes to danger, and that always adds interest to a film as well. But I mean, it's obvious. It's a comedy horror, obviously. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and some action. But now I see. Now, how many? I should say, is it received pretty well so far with other reviewers that you sent the film to?
It's insane, actually. I mean, so far, and I've counted and I've taken track and I've bookmarked, but I've had, I'd say to date now, 47 reviews from popular websites. We're talking all the way from Rue Morgue down to, like, you name it, any popular website that there is out there that reviews zombie films. Every single one of them, 100% positive.
Excellent.
And the fans, same thing. The fans love it. The critics love it. It's insane. Now festivals are beginning to ask me for it instead of the other way around.
Excellent. Now, do you want to mention to listeners what festivals that you did have it in?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it first aired at Cannes International Film Festival, or Cannes Independent Film Festival, which is, I mean, everybody knows Cannes. It's like the world's biggest festival you can get into. And that was on May 12th and then again on May 14th. So it started with Cannes, and now it's listed in, basically I'm waiting to hear back, but it's in Fantasia, it's in Fantastic, it's in Toronto After Dark, it's in Los Angeles, New York, like every single festival that I could get my hands on that was considered a first-tier festival I submitted to. And then out of the blue, Sitges from Spain, I guess they were at the screening at Cannes. They loved it, and they were like, hey, you know what, we really have to have this film at our festival. So it's going to be at Sitges coming up in, I believe it's in October. And then from there on, it's just, like I said, the snowballing. Festivals are beginning to get a hold of me. Michael Moore has a festival as well, and he's also interested in it, you know, so it's kind of just taking its own form, which is cool.
Fantastic.
And it's all in October, that's the thing, right?
It's fantastic. It just goes to show, you put your mind down that you're going to do it, and you did it, and look at it now. That's amazing.
For sure.
That's amazing.
For sure.
Paranormal Activity, how everybody talks about how much money they spent to make that piece of garbage. Oh, did I say that?
It scared me, I'll be honest. I got goosebumps.
I know, but this film, I'm telling you, I absolutely love it. Number one, I'm a zombie fan first and foremost, so right there is one foot in the door. But then when I watched it, and the storyline is the comedy in it, the action that's in it. I mean, stuff that you've done for this movie and for zombies has never been done before, and it was very clever.
Cool, man. Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a film that was kind of going to reach a broad audience. I didn't want to just have, something directed towards people who smoke pot or something directed just for people who are zombie fans. I wanted to do a film that had a wide audience so that it gets accepted.
Right.
And it happened that way. It's a comedy, it's an action adventure, it's horror, it's suspense, it's even got a bit of romantic, some romantic comedy. It's got sci-fi. I like genre mashing myself. That's one of my favorite things. It's like I don't believe that any director should just be a horror director or a comedy director. I think that's just closing yourself up.
Right.
So whenever I write something, I kind of try to explore the whole universe of film genres. Why not? It's your movie at the end of the day. Make it how you want. And if you stay true to your vision and you stay true to basically, having something for the fans and at the same time having something that's marketable for the business side of it, there's no reason you can fail.
Now, I know how you first started. Now, I want to know, how does it feel now that you made the project, you did it, obviously you're happy, but explain to listeners, how you feel now that you did it and it's more successful than you ever thought it was. It's a dumb question to ask, I understand that, but the feeling now.
Well, I did set up, like a lot of people assume that, when you make a movie that, it just kind of happens, I made a film and wow, look, it's going to be successful. The truth of it is, I approached it from a scientific, kind of method where I meticulously designed something that I wanted to be successful. So I studied other zombie films. I studied horror films, action films, and I kind of tried to take them apart and see what made those films successful and kind of try to take those formulas and then make my own version of it to ensure that it was going to be entertaining, that it was going to be, fun to watch, and at the same time, again, this is the film business. Being independent doesn't mean that you just want to break all the rules and kind of just, be a rebel. You can be a rebel, but if nobody buys your film or watches your shit, then you're just a rebel by yourself.
Right.
So I wanted to design a film from day one that would be a home run, and I'm so happy. The biggest happiness that I have is the fact that, wow, you can sit there and go, holy shit, I put together a formula, and it got accepted. The formula worked. So,
right.
It goes to show you that if you do take the time to fully think something through before diving in. Of course, you have to dive in sometimes, but if you do think it through, and the formula is followed, it happens, and that's what I'm so happy about. The biggest, actually, thing that makes me happy is the fact that I got to use Molto Vivace, which is Symphony Number 9 by Ludwig and Beethoven, because it was using Kubrick's film. You know what I mean? So
right.
To me, that was like, that's the coolest thing I could do, and I got the rights to it. I got to pay for it, and I got the rights to it. So, to have a song that was used in A Clockwork Orange, to me, was just like, man, that is so cool. I got to pay homage to one of my favorite directors and use the same song that he did. So,
excellent. Well, I wish you all the best. This thing is going to be a monster. It's going to be a monster with the horror genre, with the zombie genre, on and on and on. And again, I want to give special thanks to you for, sending me a copy to check out and review, and it's one of the best that I've gotten this year to watch.
That's awesome, man. That is so good. Thank you for taking the time and not writing it off. That's really appreciated, man.
No problem. And again, thanks for coming on today. I wanted the listeners to hear from your mouth about the film, and now they have something that they can wait for, and hopefully will purchase down the road and make it even a bigger hit.
For sure. It's going to be available all over Europe come October. So Europe and Australia are getting it first, and then I'm working on UK, US, and Canada.
Excellent.
But it will definitely be doing a global release come October. So.
Well, fantastic. Well, keep me informed of future releases in places so I can, mention it and probably,
For sure. For sure. You got it, my friend. That's awesome, man.
All right, Thomas. Thanks again. Great job. A lot of people should listen to this interview and hear what you did, and just say, "Hey, look, I'm going to do it." So,
yeah. Anybody can. You just have. Sorry, I was going to say anybody can. You just have to be willing to sacrifice everything. Quite honestly, friends, love, relationship, health, all of it.
Well,
takes a lot out of you.
You might have started something new, so think of it that way.
For sure, that's awesome. Man. I'm hoping to infest the world with it. So.
No, it will. Well, again, thank you very much for coming on today. I really appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, my friend.
Take care.
Gruesome Herzog, the voice of horror.